someone, I think someone traveled out, body dress, and then snapped, and then the another business, a fashion business, they took the head off and then put somebody
Oh wow.
head over the, I mean, over the body, and she was surprised. I was like, how would
How
you do
did that
that without
happen?
consent or anything? I mean,
Why do we have copyright? The photographer can commercialize that
the
photo,
pictures.
right? I mean, you may not necessarily have a problem with it. For people who are private,
Yeah,
right?
they would.
They would have a problem with it. So
Yeah.
you don't want a situation where you give your photographer the right to commercialize your
The pictures. Welcome back to Clause and Effect Show with Jimmy and JT, the smart conversational law podcast, where the fine print is turned into clear conversations. This is where we unpack how one clause, one law, or one overlooked line can change everything. And today we are talking about something every creator, entrepreneur, and innovator needs to understand: intellectual property, protecting your genius. Now, before you glaze your eyes over the phrase intellectual property, let me promise you this: if you have ever designed something, written something, invented something, or even come up with a catchy business name or idea, this episode is about you. So grab your notebook or your coffee, like my like my partner we do, and let's
Yeah.
dive right into it. So let's talk about IP and
Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting topic.
yeah.
I mean, the good place to start is, what do we mean by intellectual property?
Yeah.
It's a basic term that says, like you said, anyone who has written a book, anyone who has designed something,
Yeah.
anyone who has set up a catchy business name, in one way or the other, it's a form of intellectual property. It's something that comes from your intellect.
Yes.
Right? And it's a property that, you can't necessarily hold like a phone, but the law has given it some form of protection that you, the business owner, should care about.
Yeah.
Right? So intellectual comes in different forms.
Yeah.
Right? In summary, we typically have what we call the trademark. Right? We have what we call the patents.
Yeah.
And we have what we call the copyright, and in some cases what we call trade secrets or business secrets.
Yeah.
Now, trademarks are essentially the way they sound. It's a mark that comes from your trade. So as a business owner, if you look behind us, you will see what our trademark is.
Yes. That's an effect show.
For this podcast, it's our trade. It's your
Yeah.
trademark, and what you then have over that right is you have a right to register it.
Yeah.
Right, at the trademark registry. Now, patents are a bit of a different ball game. They are created over, or they are sort of the rights that you get over your inventions.
Yeah.
Right. To give a very rough example, if you invent a new way to maybe make a wedu,
that example is so funny. Why would you think of
sorry.
Hey, Yoruba people,
any kind of favorite soup that you could, if you invent a way to make it,
yeah.
And that method can be sort of, will I say, what's the word now? Can be sort of multiplied,
Yes.
to use for the lack of a better word, can be
Okay.
multiplied, like you can implement it in a series.
Yes.
Those kind of ideas are things you can patent. It has to satisfy some conditions.
Yeah.
It's something that is novel.
Yeah.
It's something that you can actually implement in sort of an industrial way. You can get a patent over that. Then the third one, which we mentioned, is copyright. This is the most common form of IP rights, because the moment you write something,
write a book,
the moment you say something,
yeah.
Of course, don't go tomorrow and say all your utterances are copyright.
Utterances.
But again, it has to
My
be in
God.
it has to be in some form,
yeah,
for you to say, okay, it is covered by copyright. So mostly expressions in written formats.
Yeah.
It could be a poem, it could be an article,
Or a song.
or a song, you create it's a copyright that's the nature of your IP right. Business secrets are in their own class because like we had
So
hinted in one of the previous
previous episodes,
episodes,
yeah.
it's something that you as a business have to keep.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily what's it called now? You can't necessarily register it anywhere.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
a
true.
trade secret that you then maybe use a non-disclosure agreement to protect,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
those are the different forms of IP rights that we have.
Okay. So for instance, in quotes, we can say that a trademark is like a fingerprint. A fingerprint that is what makes people recognize you in a market, in a crowded market, like you say.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
So in real life instances, although we typically refrain from mentioning brands,
Yeah.
but let's give it an example. The sign Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
right? You agree that it's something distinct.
Yes.
Once you see it, okay,
This is
this is a Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola.
drink.
Yeah.
I can trust it. So
Yeah.
like you said, it's a fingerprint that you use to identify a brand. And the reason why, well, let's not go into too much of that, but the basic reason why the law allows people to protect it is that someone cannot wake up tomorrow and
No.
spell the CK and say Coca-Cola and
Yeah.
say they are selling a
The
drink
same.
on the
Yeah.
back of
Under the.
that. The
Yeah.
law wouldn't sort of allow them to do that. That's the
Yes.
whole essence of it.
Yeah, so that's true. When you trademark a name or a logo, nobody else can wake up and just say, okay, use something similar.
Similar, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
well, we can get technical a little, but what the law also allows you to do is that there are certain, they call them classes of goods and services.
Yeah,
So you can use some names for maybe beverages and foods,
yeah,
and what you then do for the rest is that you do a negative registration, that is other people cannot use it. So you can't say you are a Coca-Cola financial services company,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
So but the law will allow some flexibility, like if you say Jumi Foods,
Yeah,
someone tomorrow can say Jumi Financial Services,
yeah,
right? The law will allow certain instances where people can
yeah,
register under different classes of
yeah, yeah. And also, I think it's important to let our listeners know that trademark is not just for big brands.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's for small businesses, whether you're a small business, a startup, personal brand, everybody needs a trademark. This is just a point of mode of identification to enable your maybe your clients or your intending clients or potential clients or investors to recognize your brand as your own. So imagine building a company for years only to discover that another business has trademarked the
It
name.
happens.
Yeah, I know it happens a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that means you have to like rebrand. I mean,
yeah,
we would
yeah,
now change the name. Imagine Coca-Cola now. Maybe there was one brand that probably used their name years ago. Now trying to rebrand. You know, people will
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's
It's
before
it's
it's
hard
not.
to
Yeah, it's very
adjust.
hard. Yeah, it's very hard. And then your business also your business investment should not just be your logo design. You know, when people want to start business, they create logo designs and all of that. Trademark should be part of what people should look into. I mean,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
register their names and all of that,
Mm.
just to give it a means or a proper means of identification. So for copyright, I think copyright is automatic.
Yeah,
The moment you maybe write a book or for songs or whatever it is, it's
yeah, yeah. So
automatic. You own the copyright.
what the Copyright Act has done is that it gives you, the creator, the automatic rights. What
Yes.
that means essentially is you don't necessarily need to register it, right, at a copyright registry to say
Yeah.
I own
Yes.
the
Yeah.
right
I own the
to.
rights. Yeah.
It's just assumed by the law.
Yeah.
There are certain instances where registration is required. For instance, um, there are, let's say you want to create something into a movie,
Yeah.
right? While the law gives you the automatic right to it, if you are approaching a financier, for instance, they will want something to show that you've in a way perfected interest or your rights,
Yeah.
even though it's assumed by the law that it's automatic.
Automatic. Yeah.
But what that financier will ask you is that, hope you registered it, because
Yeah.
what that does is it gives you further like protection.
Yeah, like a covering.
It knocks off the presumption from other people that
Yeah.
they may have also created something similar.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. So you can think of it like as a photographer who snaps a model in a custom dress, and then um the image appears online and goes viral, and the fashion brand now uses the what's it called now, the picture in an ad campaign. Because I think I saw that one
Mm.
recently. Someone I think someone traveled out, bought a dress and then snapped, and then the another business, a fashion business, they took the head off and then put somebody
Oh wow.
head over the, I mean, over the body, and then she was surprised to, I mean, you are the owner of the body. When you see your body, you should be able to recognize. And she was surprised and was like, how would
How
you do
did that
that without
happen?
consent or anything? I mean, it was as more as hilarious as it sounds, it's actually very annoying and very, I mean, creepy as well. Like, why would you do that? Take somebody's head, or Photoshop another
Yeah,
person's head
yeah,
into the person's body. I mean,
yeah.
it's really
So
ridiculous.
I mean that's a form of, I don't know the full details of the story, but to bring it to an aspect of copyright that is similar. For instance, if an author has created a work,
Yeah.
right? They call, I'm struggling with the specific word now, but they call it something like derogation. You can't derogate my work
Yeah.
while applying it. I have the law actually recognizes the moral right
Yeah.
of an author to either dissociate themselves or disclaim that work that
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't belong to me. So that's like a form of it, that the law allows you to stop other people in some instances from copying your work
Yeah.
in a derogatory way.
Okay. Yeah. So the basic thing is that if you create or share or post online, your work has value, and copyright
Mm.
sure takes make sure you can copyright sure takes the credits, and then the profit stays with you. So I think we should also note what are the common IP mistakes to avoid
Mm.
for people that for
So
business owners generally.
I would say let's start from business owners, right?
Okay.
One of the most common, well, I wouldn't say common, but one of the most controversial aspects of copyright is in a commissioned work, or in an employer-employee relationship. Who
Yeah.
wants the copyright created, right? There is a presumption under the law that let's make it simple. If you engage someone to take photo shoot for your birthday,
Yeah.
right? Your idea is that, oh, it's my picture, I own it,
Yeah.
but the law doesn't agree with you.
Oh wow.
The law actually states that it's the photographer that owns the
Owns the
work.
picture, even though I'm the one appearing in
Yeah,
in
even though it's your image. So what the law then allows you to do is that in the engagement contract,
yeah.
you would spell it out clearly and explicitly that I'm giving you money. In exchange, you will hand over the copyright to my images to me. Do you get? So,
Well, for me, I
yeah.
mean, I take pictures a lot because I love taking pictures. Yes. And I don't think I have ever have an agreement with my sorry, with
With your
my
photographer.
photographer that I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm always happy to be behind the camera. I mean, behind his lens, because it's very good. He's a good photographer. So
Yeah.
like, but we have never sat down to. I mean, I can just call it.
So
Oh, I'm
many
coming to your
people
studio
aren't
today. I
aware.
have something to
Yeah,
do, and I
yeah.
need to take a
A lot of
pictures.
people aren't aware, but in commissioned works like that, the law presumes that the photographer is the creator, quote
Yeah,
unquote. We
I
always have the
understand.
idea that, oh, because after all, I
I
paid him the
paid,
money.
yes. I mean, I had
Yeah.
to, I paid. I even looked fine behind the lens. I mean, I'm
So
more now. Now they quickly goes.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so but the thing is, I feel like that's for photography. I feel that's far fetched. I mean, of course, photographers edit whatever it is. I mean, some people go all the way extra length and all of that,
Yeah.
but it's still me. As long as I'm recognizable inside
Which is
in
why it
the
is important, which is why it is important that people have that awareness,
yeah,
right? That if the law presumes that the photographer is the owner,
yeah,
I should have something very simple that says the photographer is handing it over to me,
yeah.
right? Because what the why do we have copyright? The photographer can commercialize that
The
photo,
pictures.
right?
Hmm.
I mean, you may not necessarily have a problem with it, right? But for people who are private,
Yeah,
right,
they would.
they would have a problem with it. So,
Yeah,
you don't want a situation where you give your photographer the right to commercialize your
the pictures.
pictures where you're not making it's your image.
Yeah.
So, instances like that, we need to be very, very sure of
Okay.
what we
That
are
is
doing. We
being
were going to talk
protected.
about the employer relationship too, although I don't think that one is as controversial as the photographer one. But the case is also that employees think, oh, whatever I create is mine. But
Yeah.
if you read the fine print, again, back to that
You're
phrase
under
of
somebody's
your
service.
employment agreement,
Yeah.
whatever you create at the workplace
Belongs to the employer.
using work tools, some agreements spell it out using work tools. So even if it's your side project, you are doing all your
It belongs
work
to
tools,
your
it could
employer.
be argued that it
Like it
belongs
belongs to
to
your
your
employer because
employer.
you are under.
Yeah, you're under employment. So,
Yeah.
we need to pay attention to things like that as
Okay.
we create intellectual property.
Yeah, and I think what's it called now? One mistake, general mistake that people also make is copying aimlessly. You know when you copy, use a song for background. What do you call it? You know when you
Yeah,
go on
yeah, yeah.
when you go on Instagram and then you
IG,
use a
yeah.
song, and I think IG even has a way of taking down posts because they'll tell you that this song
It's
is
infringed
yeah,
copyright.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So, and that's why I see so many people now when they want to post, they put the caveats like, okay, this song. In fact, some people in capital letters they write this. I do not own the rights to this music. I'm like, okay, correct. At
I
least
mean,
you're
I
learning.
don't think that,
Yeah,
I mean, they are
but
learning.
of course, the algorithm is gonna look at. I mean, they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
see it and all of that, which the person is just trying to protect. Please don't take down my post, especially if the post has generated
A lot of views.
a lot of
Yeah.
views and is turning into money for the person. Instagram, I beg go don't take down this post.
I mean, I don't think personally, in my professional opinion,
Yeah,
I don't think it entirely solves their problem. What matters at the end of the day is at the moment you're copying something,
yeah,
ensure that you have a license to do so. So there are common use licenses,
yeah,
right? That, you, which I believe for a lot of songs in IG, for a lot of permitted songs in IG,
yeah.
they are, maybe IG has an arrangement where they get the permits of
Yeah, I think yeah, of
labels
course, they
to
create the
use
permits of the
songs, right?
songwriters
So
and
those are like common use licenses that they won't necessarily take down your video for some. But what you would notice is that um, if a there are, I think I've come across a couple of DJs that
okay.
if they make a mix
Yeah.
of a song, which means they used an original song and made a mix of it, they
Yes.
can't even upload them on streaming platforms.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So
You're gonna
you have
get
to,
sued for that.
you have to have a license to use something before
Yeah.
you use it.
Yeah.
I'm sure designers, well, is it, what type of designers do we call them? But
Yeah, artists.
designers,
Okay, like
artists,
graphics design.
graphic designers,
Yeah. Okay.
they come across this a lot, that there are some images, stock images that you will use that okay, you're good to go
Yeah.
because you paid some money
Yeah.
to use it. But there are some images that you will use tomorrow that you may get away with it, but if someone comes after you tomorrow, you'll be required to pay damages
Yeah.
for not getting the consent before using it.
Yeah. And also, I think another mistake is people ignoring renewal. People that don't renew their what's it called now? They don't renew the deadlines of the trademark and all of
Yeah,
that. So if you
yeah,
lose
yeah,
your, if
yeah.
you lose
The
your
protection, yeah,
protection.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's very important, because if you have a trademark,
yeah,
if it's renewable at a certain period, it's just good that you continue to renew it, because what not renewing it does is that you then end up um, losing that protection if
yeah.
someone comes
Else comes
after
out.
you
Yeah,
to register it.
yeah.
So yeah,
That's true.
it's a common mistake as well.
But do you have have you seen a personal example concerning this trademark copyright thing? Like,
Mm,
because I know, of course,
I mean,
maybe,
the closest I've come across is, well, we can't mention names,
of course, name
but
withheld.
there's a major financial technology company here in Nigeria
Mm-hmm.
that launched a product, right? I think the name of the product was very, very similar to the name of another startup, right?
Wow.
And it then got so messy because they just made an announcement, basic case of we're announcing a product, and the other party had this letter. I don't know if they were the ones who sent a cease and desist or something like that,
Uh,
but they then responded. So what all this story teaches us is that, um, again, also before you launch products, it's sometimes basic research is needed,
yeah,
or some basic due diligence steps are needed. Do I want to copyright this? Pardon me. Do I want to trademark this brand name,
yeah,
even if it's a sub product? If we
yeah.
look at Coca-Cola today as a company, it has
Mm-hmm.
several brands
Of course.
under it. Each of
Yeah.
those brands have their own trademarks,
Yes.
right? So you as a business need to also look at it from that perspective, that if I'm launching something, I need to first do my research at the trademark registry to see if it's a registered trademark.
Yeah.
If it is, then I have to go to another alternative, so that I
Yeah.
don't get embarrassed
That's true.
with people saying, "Oh, it's my own, it's my own."
That's true.
And then, assuming you have registered your own and they come out to say it's their own, then you can go after them with a cease and desist. You can go after them by even suing them for infringing
Yeah.
on your trademark. So that's like an example of
Yeah,
an
so
IP case.
because the thing is, I believe creativity takes courage. I mean, it takes courage for you to create a thing and to put it
Yeah,
out there for
yeah,
people
yeah,
to see. And it also takes a vision-minded person, a visionary, to build something new. And so it's wisdom to actually protect it. So once you are building something, you have to. I mean, that wisdom has to be there on how to
yeah,
protect it under the feathers of the law, as it were, in
yeah,
quotes.
yeah,
Yeah. So next time an inspiration takes place, remembers that your ideas are your currency. Protect them before you spend them. Don't go and spend on what was it called now? Spend on making logo. Meanwhile, your somebody else has rebranded your business name, and
yeah,
then you are
yeah,
busy running a scatter trying to trying to find a balance. So before you spend unnecessarily on creating a thing, ensure that all your boxes are ticked,
yeah.
everything is checked, and then you're doing it the right way under the law. So you are protected. Thank you for listening to Clause and Effects, the Smart Conversational Law Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a fellow creative or entrepreneur. Follow the show, leave a review, and you can send a mail at clauseeffect.co@gmail.com. You'll see it below on the screen, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay creative, stay curious, and always protect your genius. Thank you.